Hey, what's going on? It's KLA, Cloud the Wanderer. Good afternoon. And, I have a guest with me. She's been here before. Her name is Kara Hardin. She's an NPC figure competitor, and she's a national qualifier.
That's
And yeah,
correct.
yeah, like I'm glad you came back. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you again. It's been a year.
Yeah, yeah. Like before you when we was talking, you was getting ready for a show.
Yeah, last year I was getting ready to do the Ronnie, and I this year I did the Ronnie again, and then also the Adela Garcia 3 weeks later. Yeah.
Okay. I forgot, like, how did you do at that time?
I did really. You mean last year or this year?
Last year. Both. Last year, this year.
It's all kind of
Yeah.
blended together now, but last year I competed in figure and physique, and my goal going in was just to get judges feedback. What category should I or division should I be in? What feedback did they have for me? Basically, they just said I needed to grow more, especially if I wanted to be in physique. So this year, my coach and I decided just to stick with figure. She feels that I have more of like a figure body, and I would, do better in that category. I wasn't a huge fan of the heels at first, and I like the posing and physique better, but figure has definitely grown on me, although I still love physique posing.
Yeah.
But so this year we just did figure. My goal was, just to qualify for nationals this year, which I did at the very first competition at the Ronnie. I got a second place in open at the Ronnie and second place again at the Adela on June 6th. So I guess I qualified for nationals twice.
Okay, cool.
um, and then last year, gosh, I don't remember what I got last year. I need to look at the medals, but it's first and seconds basically. I think I got second overall last year as well in figure, and but there was a few categories last year or classes that I didn't have a competitor last year, but yeah, everything went really well. I met as usual, met some awesome people backstage, and we connected online, and I think that's one of like the best parts about competing is just meeting all the new people with similar, goals and all that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen your like your Instagram, and majority of the times I see you working out a lot of times, but I've seen you in shows and stuff, and you had a picture of Ashley Jones. I wish I could recorded the your Instagram and showcase it a bit, but it was a lot that you had on your reels and stuff. So
Hmm.
um,
Yeah. Yeah, I share a lot to my stories and then, a few things to my reels. But yeah, Ashley's my coach. I've been working with her for, oh gosh, I guess about almost a year and a half, or no, maybe a little over a year, something like that. But yeah, she's been amazing. I always say that she's the coach I was looking for the whole time. I've loved all my coaches along the way, and I've learned something from every single one of them. But I truly feel like she was the one I was looking for.
okay. So you're getting really adjust. So she got you adjusted to figure.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we decided since we felt like my body was more figure shape right now, and I could always grow more into physique down the road. But we decided just to stick with figure for now, and that way is just figure posing and all that. So it's a little less work on my end for me, I guess, a little less stress.
Okay. So the upcoming show that you have, it's the Nationals. Like what show is that?
I haven't spoken to Ashley about which national we're going to do yet. From what I
Okay.
understand, I'm new to qualify for nationals, but either you can either do the same calendar year or the following calendar year. So we have to kind of figure out what we want to do. There's a few things that are making it complicated for me, and that's the fact that it's my daughter's senior year in high school this year, and this past year it was my son's senior year, and it was really hard having doing all the senior high school stuff and being in prep. So I kind of wanted to avoid that, but again. But then also mine and my husband's 25th wedding anniversary is next year in October, which is right in the middle of the time I would be prepping for a nationals in December. So I'm gonna have to like figure out which competition works best with our life, and then move from there. But we haven't picked one yet. So, but it'll be, you know, probably next year.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy anniversary
Thank you.
to you guys. Yeah, yeah. Like what was your husband reaction about you being the national qualifier?
The whole family was really excited. My immediate family at home, my son, my daughter, and my husband are just my number one supporters. And my husband, I brag about him all the time because it's right down to like if he know because he knows I was on a meal plan, everything was very specific, and so if he noticed that I was almost out of ground turkey, he would just go
Mm,
ahead and cook my ground turkey for me. So like that, when I say he was my rock, he was like literally my savior. He helped me out so much. So he was super excited for me, obviously, as well as my kids, and um, so yeah, we'll see. It's the next step.
yeah, yeah. Let's say if you get your pro card, you get your pro card. Like, what would you do now? Like, would you stick with figure or women's physique?
For now, I stick with figure unless my body grows into physique. Because Ashley, my coach Ashley, she kind of says, your body will tell us what it wants, and because Ashley started out in figure as well, and now she does
Yeah,
bodybuilding. So her
yeah,
body just kept growing, and they're like, okay, well, let's move you into the next category or division and the next division. So yeah, if my body continues to grow in the direction of physique, then eventually down the road we'll probably change it to that. But for now, well, I'm gonna stick with figure. Yeah.
okay. Like you have like an opinion on like the divisions meeting the criteria, like the women's physique looking like women's bodybuilding or anything like that. Like what
Um,
should
it,
your look on that?
it's well, it's a little different. Like figure obviously you have the addition of the heels in there. You have to walk on the heels on the stage, so that adds its own
Mm,
challenge. But as far as muscularity, figure I know is supposed to have like less striations. You're not supposed to be like quite as muscular and hard as physique. I do feel like I like when I got really lean, I had a lot of striation in my shoulders. I feel like my legs are still a little bit behind my upper body, but the judges say I'm balanced, so maybe it's in my head. I don't know, but
mm,
I definitely feel like I would need to grow my legs more to get into physique. So in my mind, I feel like my upper body is there, but my lower body is not. Um, and then as far as comparing the categories, though, bodybuilding is definitely the most muscular over physique. Yeah. But I don't see myself ever going to bodybuilding though. Although I love growing muscle and everything. I don't think I'll ever get that big. I don't know if it's even
yeah,
possible for me.
yeah. I mean, you have a I think you have a well proportioned body. You know, it's not nothing too big. Like yeah, everything is just right. If I could say that, I'm not, a
Yeah.
judge or anything like that. But yeah, I think you would be better in for figure, you
hmm
know.
That
So
video you just showed was very rushed too. Like right before we went on stage, they were like, "You guys get 10 seconds to do your 30-second routine," and I was like, "What?" So that's why I was like trying to rush through it on there and get through like the foo-foo stuff. But
yeah, I don't know if you like watch like old bodybuilding, um, um, footages of the women like in the 80s and the 90s, especially the 90s. They would like do like dance routines and stuff
yes, I
like
have seen
that.
those. They're so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't have a ton of
yeah,
time to look at stuff like that, but I do look at it and I have seen those videos.
yeah,
My schedule
yeah.
was so crazy in prep. I kept joking that I was in that movie called Groundhog Day because every day I just woke up and it was the same thing over and over again. It's like wake up, do
Mm,
cardio, then you do have your same meal as yesterday and your same lunch, and then you go to the gym. It's just like repeat, 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 all the way down to how much water and salt and everything. So um I'm trying to like mentally shift out of that grind now and, actually have time to look at things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you do again? I'm sorry. Um, as
Outside of
work.
bodybuilding,
Right, right.
I basically have like three part-time jobs.
Three part-time
Of course,
jobs?
I'm of course a mom and a wife. I used to do cardiac ultrasound, but I worked
Yeah.
in the hospital setting and the outpatient setting. And eventually I started having really bad issues with my shoulder. So scanning in the hospital environment was really hard on my back, like scanning the patients over the bed and with all their equipment when they're hooked up. And so I ended up dropping cardiac ultrasound, and I do own and manage an Airbnb by myself. I do, which may not seem like a lot, but it can be a lot. This summer, have decided not to rent it out though, and just use the property for personal use. So that will give me a huge break this summer. So that is one of the jobs I have. The other one is I'm an elite athlete for Five Star Nutrition. So I do content creation for them each month. And then I have just a couple clients that I do health and wellness coaching with, but I don't accept a lot of clients at a time just because I don't have a lot, a lot of time. So I usually just do like 3 or 4 clients at a time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's good.
But it works out for me because everything, all these 3 little part-time jobs I have, they're great because I can just do them where it fits, and there is some sort of schedule with, my clients obviously, but as far as their check-in days and stuff, but the other stuff I can just kind of do it, between gym and cardio and meal prep, all the things, it like kind of fits in there. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I know like you make like you have made some videos as well about bodybuilding. You know, I don't know like is that for like the people that don't understand it? Like I'll play one
Oh,
of them to
the
know
ones
what
I've
I'm
done
talking.
recently. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done a couple of those recently because I have people that follow me and then they'll send me messages and I kind of see a repeat of things where people, and basically in my mind I was like, I just want to like things that a new competitor would not know. I want to open up that conversation you know, and I've had several people reach out to me and say, thank you so much. I didn't know this. Like, this has been so helpful. I actually have already recorded multiple other videos just like that to share on like topics for first timers, but I just haven't had time to make the reels and post it yet. But yeah, one of them went kind of crazy with the number of views it had. It was the one on the spray tan. But I
Yeah.
learned stuff by posting it as well because I have only competed in NPC, and until this recent competition, I've only been tanned by Pro Tan. So it was knowledgeable to see the comments from other people on their tanning experience and stuff. So I do plan to make a follow-up video on that at some point with the knowledge that I've learned from posting that one. But yeah, I've had several people say it's helped them. So that was my goal, help
Yeah,
the
no, it
newbies
was
out.
yeah, it was interesting, you know. I could play it now. Let me see which one because I got two that let me
Things you don't know about bodybuilding. When you get your spray tan, you are completely naked if you are a woman. All the people that spray you are all female, for men and women. You walk in the room, they say put your clothes somewhere along the wall, and they have pop-up booths that are kind of like an outdoor shower if you're going camping, with a fan in the back with a filter over it. And then they have a long table with fans on top and bottom for the women to stand in front of and dry. Yes, they will tell you to bend over so they can spray your butt while you're naked. And then you go stand next to all the other naked women for like 6 minutes until they come and check you to see if you're done to get your clothes on. The men wear a sock, and they are also tanned by women. There you have it. Yeah,
yeah,
since
that's
that
interesting.
video, I've had several men comment that they were not required to wear a sock, but it ended up that they, maybe weren't with Protan, or that they actually had a male tanner, but that was a different company. So yeah, Protan is all female, still from what I understand. And I recently was tanned by Liquid. sun rays at the Adela. Very similar setup, but theirs was a little bit different to where they had you stand in one of those pop-up tents while you dried. So it was a little bit private, even though everybody could still see in there. But yeah, I wanted to share that basically because a lot of first timers, they don't realize that you are completely nude, everything spread out so they can tan you, especially people that are not familiar with spray tanning in general. I myself, I'm very, very pale, and I get like a spray tan a week just because, so I don't look as pale. um but so they don't realize, like, you can't wear underwear because that's going to leave a big old tan line, especially as dark as you get on the stage, unless you wear one that would just literally be under where the suit would be. But yeah, a lot of the women are like, "Oh, thanks. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was going to be like that." So it kind of prepares them a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something to look at, to understand, because
Mhm.
people may not, they're not really into that lifestyle of competing. So yeah,
Yeah, so it's just
I
things
didn't.
that people don't know that, and some people that don't tan or not tan, but don't compete, but are very interested in competing or interested in what competitors do. It kind of gives them an insight on the inside of what happens with a competitor and all the prep and all the things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Has people, you say, like, a lot of people like BM you, like, are they like curious of wanting to compete themselves?
Most of the women, it's women that have messaged me specifically, and they are all of them are planning to compete in the future, but have not competed yet. The ones that have messaged me, um, some women did comment on there, but they didn't message me. But they commented, and they had competed before, and they said, "Oh, well, I was tanned by a man in the past," and but then I was like,
Mm.
"Well, how long ago was that?" Because things have changed. But apparently, I guess there's still some companies out there. No one's given me a name of the companies yet that I guess have male tanners, but yeah, there are some that do have male tanners apparently, and I don't know if the male tanners tan the women. I got to do research now because like these other companies, I don't know how they work, and I guess that's where I made the flaw in there is I should have specifically said pro tan. I think I did go back and add it in later, like I edited to add that it was specifically pro tan I was talking about, but yeah.
And you say, like, the men get tanned by the women?
Yes, the with Protan, the women tan the men as well. All the employees are women,
Mhm.
and they provide some kind of sock for them, or they can bring their own. Some men did message me and say, because the men wear the suits, like even if they wear like the smaller suits, they can just wear one that's smaller. That way, it doesn't show. But most of the men don't, from what I understand. And for a lot of for bodybuilders that do this, it's not a big deal. You go in, you do your tan, you move on, like everybody else. It's not a big deal. But to someone that's really, really new and might be shy, especially someone who did like a weight loss transformation or something like that, it could be kind of scary for them. So it's good to be prepared and to know what you're up for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I could play the other video.
Something you will want to know while prepping for your first bodybuilding competition. You should consider not wearing deodorant for 3 days prior to your spray tan. The deodorant.
That's the other one. Is that the same
Things you
one?
don't
Let me
know
see.
about bodybuilding. When you get your spray tan, you are completely deodorant. I've had a few women comment on that saying they wore deodorant and they didn't have any issues. Which to each their own. They didn't have an issue. That's great. I did specifically say, well, what deodorant did you wear? So people know that they could probably wear that one and be okay. But for spray tan preparation, a lot of times they do put in the instructions to not wear deodorant a few days prior. And that is because it can build up on the skin and then it won't tan as well. And then when you say thank you to the judges, you have a white armpit or whiter than because those tans are
Right.
dark, and it doesn't look nice, it's a not the look you want on stage. So not wearing deodorant 3 days prior helps make sure that it exfoliates off. You have an even tan when you get on stage. So you have that, desired look. And then they do offer, I say later in that video, a pro tan. They sell it like a deodorant you can use that, the 3 days prior. And I even say in there, it doesn't work great, but it does help. But I I'm not 100% on this, but I swear the deodorant actually makes the tan more. Like, I don't know if it actually tans you, but because that is like one of the last parts to go. It like is stuck on there after the tan
You can't even do
when
like
it's
a spray
fading.
one. You
Do
can't do
it.
like a the spray deodorant a little
They
bit.
just the instructions I've gotten, the liquid sun rays didn't say, I don't think they said to quit the deodorant, but Protan does say to not wear deodorant. And honestly, I don't have an issue with
Mm,
it. I just shower and then put that deodorant on that Protan sells and I'm fine. It's not that bad.
okay.
Um, but yeah, it's just to get you a good tan. And then the little pointer I put in the end is just to always make sure to raise your back arm when you thank the judges, because then you're less, if it is a bad, tan area right there, they don't see it. But
Okay, that's very interesting.
yeah, just little tips.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically, if you do spray tan yourself, you're supposed to stop about 2 weeks prior because the color of your tan matters. And so if you have a base of a different color and then they put their tan on it, they won't like it. And I literally, the first year at the Ronnie last year, when I was waiting my turn to get judges' feedback, the woman in front of me, her feedback was don't tan yourself, because she tanned herself and used her own products. And they told her that she looked kind of green, and they
Mm.
didn't like the color. So that affected how she scored on stage, is that she looked kind of green with her tan. So stopping tanning altogether 2 weeks prior is the way to go. And then you're supposed to exfoliate really, really well for like a week, to get your skin prepped, moisturized, dead skin off, old tan off. And then for people like me that are very, very pale, they recommend several days prior doing a very light build a tan, where you just put this lotion on every night and just barely adds a little bit of color for like 3 days in a row, just to give kind of a little bit of a base tan. And then they do 2 to 3 spray tans when you go in.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've been, I've attended some shows, but I never like
Lots of
imagined
little
that.
details that week leading
Yeah,
up to it. Yeah.
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 You just watching, and that's it. Like how was your experience of just like preparing for the show? Like, was you nervous, or you
Um,
knew that you knew that you was gonna get a better placing?
I wasn't really nervous, but I don't think I went into either show like expecting to get top two. My only complaint, which is not even a complaint because nobody has control over it, is I wish there was more athletes on stage, and
Mm,
I've heard a lot from a lot of people that this year there haven't been that many, like as many athletes signing up to compete. I don't know if everybody's just, it's like, it is financially a big thing to do a competition. So I think a lot of people, just because of the cost of living and everything right now, they probably just can't compete. But for the Della, I only had one figure competitor competing against me, and that was it in the whole figure category. There's just two of us.
yeah,
And I've also been told that figure has been really small this year, but that's just what I've been told and what I've experienced. So I don't know, other competitions might be different, but there was, I think, 6 of us total at
mm,
the Ronnie this year, which 6 is a pretty good number. But I don't know, as an athlete, prepping for a competition, you always just want to go in and just have like 20 other people, because I like it. I want to be compared and be able to look and be like, oh, like look at how good that looks. I should work on getting my lats to look like that, or like I love that part. And so when there's only like one athlete, I'm like, no.
yeah.
But
That sucks. Like, just competing with one person
yeah,
against
but
one
nobody
person.
can
Yeah,
control that. It's just, it's just the luck of the draw
yeah.
and how it ends up. But
And
but we
majority of the
both
time,
showed up and did our thing. So
yeah, majority of the times, I'm hearing women's bodybuilding, get the short end of the stick. Well, the pros a lot of
mhm.
times like that. It's cut. I got an atmosphere of guys, talking about it, and they're very fans. They're very unhappy about the shows that's being cut, and then this new this new this new division, fit model, is like the talk of the town,
Mhm.
and it's another division. And then with bikini, they got more competitors, and so yeah, Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely
didn't really.
more athletes in the fit model and bikini than there was, well, obviously in figure because there's only two in the Adela, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, let me see. Good play like you working on. Yeah, you have a nice physique. Yeah, like
yeah, this is
like
a week
what?
post competition. I just took this in Vegas last week. That's in the Palazzo Casino gym.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So I've already gained
yeah,
back 10 pounds in a week and a few days. And so this is me 10 pounds heavier than stage.
yeah. Like if you met yourself, if you time traveled back in the past and you came across yourself, what would you tell yourself when you was overweight?
Oh, about I tell everybody the same thing because I have people approach me and ask questions, and I always just tell them that anything you want to do is possible. You just have to stick with it and be consistent, and that goes for anything in life. Not just bodybuilding. If you want to achieve a goal, you can do it. And for the people that say they don't have time, like yes, that can be true, but I tend to find that when we really, really want to do something, you will find a way to make time for it. And my biggest example is television because people always like, have you seen this show? Have you seen that show? And I'm like, no, I haven't watched TV in like a month. Like I don't watch TV. I don't have time for it. My husband tends to watch shows while he's doing his cardio, but I tend to I like to listen to music when I work out, and a lot of times listen to the same music a lot, but then when I do cardio, I tend to use that as like, I don't know if I'd call it educational time, but that's when I do like a book, like an audio book usually, or some type of podcast or something. Because used to, when I had to pick my kids up from school before they were driving, that was the time I would like have a book I would read or listen to an audio book while I was waiting in the pickup line at the school. Well, now they both drive, so I don't do that anymore. And I kind of just noticed one day that I just wasn't reading books anymore. I was even audio, and so that's my designated time for that is when I'm on the treadmill. But yeah, you just got to make time for it. You got to say, and it does usually involve a sacrifice. Like, what are you going to give up so that you can have this? And that's what we got to do. You got to find what you're willing to sacrifice to make it happen.
Yeah, not too long ago, I was listening to somebody saying the same things. Like, if you really want to do something, you would do it. You know,
Mm,
he made a scenario like I wish I'd have played. I wish I'd have uploaded it a little bit. But he was saying if let's say if your house was on fire, you would immediately get out the house. You
mhm.
wouldn't be like hesitant to be thinking about it, you would just
Yeah.
do it. That's the same thing with other things.
Mhm,
Like if you want to lose weight, you would you would find ways to do it. Like you
mhm.
would eat better or
Yeah.
work out. You would go to the gym. And yeah, so just same thing with a job and stuff like that. So it's just something to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to
So
figure out what balance you want in life and what is most important to you. Because sometimes like we have a goal, but it may not be the right time in our lives to do it yet. That doesn't mean we're not going to do it, but maybe we have to finish this other task first. But it needs to
that's
be in the
cool.
radar and you need to be making a plan for it. I like to tell people to do what I call 5 minute actions. So if there's something you want to do, then you need to do a 5 minute action towards it because we all can find 5 minutes, right? Somewhere in our day. And you use that time kind of like I use the treadmill to do audiobooks. So I'm still being educated, on new topics and new things. And a lot of time, self-help books, whatever, like whatever it is I'm listening to. But uh, I just lost my, oh,
I
can you
get
hear
what
me?
you're
This,
saying.
oh,
Ye-
like it
Yeah,
made like a weird noise for a second. But
yeah.
but yeah, I'm sure you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. I mean, when you say like the 5 minutes, like it's like baby steps.
Yeah,
You,
totally baby steps. And because
yeah,
another way I'll explain to people is because like if you have no clue how to do something, well, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to Google it. Well,
You
spend five
Google it.
minutes
Yeah.
Googling how this works.
Right.
Well, then you're probably going to get five more topics you need to learn on, right? Well, then the next
Right.
5 minute actions, you'll do one of those topics each time and you can take notes from it. And eventually you start to build a knowledge around it. More questions to ask. And then you start trying to find the people to ask the questions to. And it takes time and it's baby steps, but it is moving you towards that goal just in small steps. And I like to, you can use drastic examples, but like, say you wanted to walk to my location from the other side of town, right? You're like, there's no way I can't walk that far. That's so far away. Well, if you just started doing it, eventually you would get here, right? You might have to stop and get some water, get some food, sleep somewhere, but eventually you will get here. And it's the same thing with those 5 minute actions, because a lot of times when we stop to do a 5 minute action, it actually ends up being more like 15 to 20 minutes,
Mm.
because we really do have more than 5 minutes a lot of times to commit to things. So, but yeah, if you start taking those steps, eventually you will make it across town and you will make it to my location. It's just about taking those steps, and then we don't know how long eventually it'll get there, but you will get there at some point.
I can understand that too. Yeah, sometimes you can't really force things as well because
Hmm.
you're not gonna get the results that you're looking for.
Hmm.
I've learned that,
Yeah.
so yeah, so yeah, this is interesting video. It don't got you in it, but it's something pertaining to women that work out. A lot of yeah, I noticed that some women, muscular women, they get shamed and stuff. So I would
Hmm.
like to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. I
Oh,
can't
there ain't
hear
no
it.
sound up there.
Yeah, I can't hear the
Yeah,
sound. I'm trying to read what it
oh,
says. Strings.
yeah. Now I send you the link. I thought the sound. I don't know if I
Oh, it's okay. I know
what
what you're talking about though, because I have gotten those messages telling me that I'm manly, I sound like a man. Like, why would you want to do that to yourself? No man wants to be with a woman that has muscle. Like, I get those messages. I just delete them.
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
have teenagers that follow me. So a lot of times when I see those
yeah.
comments, I just delete them or block the person. So
Yeah. She the way she said it, I don't know this the sound, but she was saying basically, I'll send it to you in a DM.
okay.
She was basically saying that, people they kind of they they made that decision in they mind to see how a woman, forgive me, I'm not really I'm not really good at quoting people, but she was saying about um how people make that categorizing about women have like this certain look, they should be soft, delicate,
Mhm.
and something,
I
and
I think that the look a woman has should be the look that she wants. Like, if a woman
yeah,
wants to be muscular, great. Like, who cares if somebody else doesn't like it? If you don't like it, then don't date a muscular woman. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's really odd to me that people have enough time in their day to go and send messages to people just trashing their physique. Like, I don't know. It's like, why? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I'm like, don't you have something better to do? Like, I don't know. It's like a total waste of time for me having to go through and just block them and delete their comments. So I'm like, it's got to be a waste of time for them. Because it's not like them telling them they think they're muscular or too muscular or manly is going to make them stop doing what they're doing, because they don't care
yeah,
what that person thinks. So why even waste your time? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, people say men, I've been told men don't want to be with muscular women, blah blah blah. My husband thinks I am the hottest thing that walks this earth, so I don't care what they think. And my husband and we have been together since I was 15 and he was 16 years old. Like, we
mm,
have been through all stages of life together, and he has loved me every step of the way. And that's because it is not about your physique, it is about you as a person. That is who you fall in love with. My husband and I both have been overweight. We have both gone to the gym and gotten fit. And did we do it together? no, I did it first and he didn't. And I didn't force it on him. And then he decided to do it later. And now my son is going to the gym. I think we set examples and then people choose if they want to follow it or not. But even if he didn't go to the gym, I would still love him the same. He's still the same loving, caring husband that will cook my meal plan for me if I need it. You know what I'm saying? Because he loves me and cares for me. So I don't understand the obsession with the look with other people. You know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Like, why you gotta say something?
mean, it's social media. You know, people is very mean. Like they don't care. So, I mean, I think what she was trying to say that people gonna have their opinions and stuff, and you can't really you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea.
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah. So I mean, I don't think that you would kind of. I wouldn't really like expect you to get a lot of DM hate and stuff. So you
Yeah,
don't
I
look.
try to be pretty nice and middle ground. And when people do comment on my stuff, I don't even respond because it's not worth my time. Like, I'm not even gonna like give them my time of day to respond. I just delete the comment or block them depending on how bad the comment was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Like you said like what books like you like to read that you
uh,
used to read when you
I'm a
were.
big like I guess for me, bodybuilding isn't just about bodybuilding and the physique. It's about bettering myself. And I've kind of learned that over the years because I like I said, I like to educate myself. Like right now, I'm doing nutrition courses on the side just because, like, I just I like to learn about this stuff. It's a hobby of mine. I call myself a gym nerd because I am a gym nerd. Like I love learning new ways to do things and new methods and reading. Like I follow several people online too, and I can't remember their exact accounts, but they basically go and they're doctors, they have doctorates, and they will go look at studies and they'll break them down, like on creatine or whatever, like or how muscle grows the best when it's in the most stretched state. Like for like a calf raise, if you that lower portion when it's really stretched is where you grow the most. Like there's studies like that, and I just find all that stuff really interesting. So when I read it's normally something educational. My family, my stepmom and my son, they're trying to get me to read books that are just, like just books. They're just like
Yeah.
stories. And so I'm trying really hard. My son read this one in school. It's called The Awakening, and he said he thought I might like it. And so I told him, I was like, okay, I'll read it. And so I've been trying, but like here I'm only like this far through it.
How
Um,
long it took you to read it? How long? Like how long?
Well,
How
honestly, because
long
it's a
did it?
book, I started it in
Yeah.
prep and was trying to do it on the treadmill, but I found that doing the type of cardio I was doing and trying to read a book just didn't work. And so I actually downloaded the audiobook too, and I thought, well, I'll listen to it and follow along on the audiobook, but that was challenging as well because I feel like when I'm doing really like more strenuous cardio, I can't focus as well, and I feel like I have to focus a lot on this. I don't know.
Mm.
But so yeah, it's usually like self-help. Like I really like the book by Mel Robbins. I read that one during the beginning of prep. And why is it spacing me the name of her book? The let them theory. The let them theory, that one was really good. I have recommended that to a lot of people, and that one covers more than just what you think would be about let people do their thing. It touches on parts about phases of our life and how people will come and go in your life, and it's not because they don't care about you anymore or they don't have interest in you. It's just we have different phases of life, and perfect example is like my son right now. He's graduating high school, he has all these friends and they're all fixing to just part and go different directions, and he probably won't see the majority of them ever again, and it has nothing to do with the relationship. It's that stage of life where we're moving to the next phase.
To come and
And because a
go.
lot of people can get bitter about stuff like that and think, oh, this
Yeah.
person doesn't talk to me anymore, and it's really that's not the thing. It's just different phases of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
um but that book was really good. I really did like that book. I follow her and I love all her quotes. And um, before that, I was listening to a podcast, and then I can't even remember the name of the podcast. I should have been more prepared with the stuff. But
No, it's okay. It's okay.
it's
I
usually
get it.
like educational, bodybuilding, self help. I love mindset stuff. I love reading about educating myself in different mindsets and how to view things differently. Like step outside myself and look in and try to evaluate and improve in different ways. And I don't know. That's the stuff I'm interested in.
Yeah, nah, it's cool. Like I mean, it's understandable. Bodybuilding is your passion, so you're gonna want to gain some knowledge on it,
Mhm.
creatine and stuff. I
Yeah,
try to
but
read
overall,
about
it's
that
self
stuff. I don't
improvement
even
stuff.
think I even like comprehend that sometimes. Like
Yeah.
um, like that's like what a powder and it like helps you gain weight. Correct me
Uh,
if
Oh, creatine, yeah, creatine's one of like the most studied supplements, and there's a lot of myths revolving around it where people think that, oh, you can't do it because it'll hurt your kidneys. Well, no, if you have kidney disease, then yeah, you probably shouldn't take it and you need to talk to your doctor first, but it's not going to give you kidney disease. The problem is when you're taking creatine, it changes your lab levels to where it could look like your kidneys are off, but really they're not. It's just your body's breaking down the creatine and it shows up in your labs. You go off of it, your kidney function is going to be, it's fine. So there's other markers you can look at, like your EGFR, or is that what the, I'm trying to think of the breakdown, but you can look at the other markers to see like, is it actually the kidney function or is it just that you're taking creatine, right? And the things that I love recently is reading about how creatine can help even further with things like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But it's actually at a higher dose. So most people do 5 grams a day, but lots of studies I've read show that doing supplementation of 10 grams a day can actually help prevent Alzheimer's and help with your memory, things like that. I do have the gene for late onset dementia. So for me, like taking extra creatine is a no brainer. A lot of women don't like to take it because they hear it makes them gain weight. But when that's the women that haven't figured out yet that the scale is just literally your overall body weight, not like how like what it's made out of, like how much muscle and all that stuff. So yeah, you're going to put on a little water. If you do a lot of creatine up front, it can make you hold a little extra water, but it all evens out in a few weeks. But a lot of times that water is going into your muscle. It's hydrating like your muscle. It gives you, and you want it in the muscle. That's what you want, right? But they just see the scale number go up and they're like, ah, but because they just think body fat, but it's not body fat. It's water in it's your muscles. It's in your muscles. So I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah, I
exactly.
love reading stuff on that. So yeah, so I've started doing 10 grams a day of creatine recently.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay, okay. Do you have any like tips for somebody drinking like some tea or anything like that? Yeah, I don't like I ask because I come across certain articles on tea and nutrition and stuff. So yeah, that's what I
I personally don't do a lot of teas, but I just haven't felt the need to use them. I know there are some that
yeah.
are beneficial for things. Like, for example, my son plays clarinet. He's a musician. He's fixing to go to college to do music. And sometimes he has like issues with his throat. And so he will drink a tea called throat coat, I think is what it's called. And it helps like soothe your throat if, you're for playing the instruments. And I mean, so there are teas that help with different things. There's teas that can help with sleep, like chamomile. There's ones that help with digestion. But I haven't really had needs for those, so I haven't used any
Yeah,
teas.
it's
But
fine. It's
but I do
fine.
like tea.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I just asked. Shout out to True Prodigy 27. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, and you got Project 1868 giving the flex. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a nice flex. Yeah, yeah, think I'll wrap it up for
Yeah,
now,
it was great to talk to you
yeah.
again.
Yeah, as likewise, congratulations. Hope you get your pro card, Jesus, this phone is So, am I breaking out?
Yeah, you broke up for a second.
Yeah, I know somebody's calling me on my phone. Sorry
Oh,
about
okay.
that.
No, it's
All
fine.
right, but I'm gonna let you go.
All
But
right. Thank you so
thank you
much.
again.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
appreciate your time.
no doubt.